Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson Laverne. And I wondered how I should begin this, and I'll just start what came to me and just say, wow! I think that Pat Walters, CEO at Cable, has just done an earth-shattering announcement to all of us here in St. Kitts as to what we can look forward to in terms of cable TV, entertainment, news, the cable as such. I want first, though, to start by recognizing the chairman of the board of directors of the cable, Mr. Othniel Heiliger, and I note that he has given apologies for his deputy chair, Mr. Adrian Lam, as well as others are missing. But I also want to recognize, I noticed 3 members of the board here with us. Mrs. Merle Liebert Brown, is it? And Joan is here, as well as our new secretary, Mr. Trevor Phipps, is here. I want to recognize the staff of the cable who are well displayed in their wonderful new garments, ultra garments. And I want to recognize in particular Val Brown, who has been here from the beginning, and Judith Hewlett, who is also here as well too. I should recognize as well Mr. Donald Thompson, who is representing the Cable's Bankers National Bank, who is here with us. And I want to recognize the consultant, Seismic Consulting, who has been doing an awesome job with the cable. There's a story behind Seismic and the cable that goes back some time, but I should mention that when we came to office in 2015, that is the Team Unity administration, we had an engagement with Seismic over the state of the cable. And there's a whole story behind that. I see Paul Ferguson nodding his head. Paul is one of the principals along with Richard St. John. They're both here with us. And for those, can't forget Russell Halbert, who is our own Taylor's Range Kitishan, who is here with us as well. And so, finally, of course, the media who have come out to this very important media launch to show that the cable is alive and well, and more than well, and portends well for the future of our telecoms industry here in St. Kitts. Not just telecoms, but because we're here about TV launching, media launch, content launch in terms of entertainment. I think that as Minister responsible for communications, I need to speak a little bit about where the government of St. Kitts and Nevis would want us to be in terms of telecommunications. We have various service providers who serve us very well. And I noted that when CEO Pat spoke earlier, she spoke about questions of public good and critical infrastructure, and I wondered if she was peeping on my notes and my speech, because clearly, as a government, we are very, very interested in terms of how we approach the question of sustainable development, sustainable economic development of our country. And the whole question of critical infrastructure, a public good. And when I say critical infrastructure, or Pat says critical infrastructure, we speak about things like electricity, we talk about water, we talk about the road network, which are things that any society today, a modern society, cannot do without. But more and more today, or clearly today, the question of broadband, the internet, is also critical infrastructure. It's a public good. Imagine when the internet goes down, you can't get WhatsApp, You can't send an email. You can't, you're lost. And in some cases, the broadband to a lot of people may be more important today than electricity or something of that nature. So as a critical infrastructure, the internet is perhaps very, very important, right at the top of the list. And so we want to salute the cable, who some 20 years ago introduced an internet network, a broadband network around St. Kitts and Nevis, where they deployed fiber, optic fiber cables that serve our country well. I hope I don't steal Pat Thunder when we have a follow-up to this launch by saying that part of the overall strategy, overarching strategy of the cable is to ensure that this country has the best internet network anywhere in this region. And over the next 12 months, we look forward to the upgrade of that network where broadband at speeds, unbelievable speeds, could be had anywhere in this country. And that is a goal that the government of St. Kitts and Nevis endorses, where we would expect over the next 18 to 24 months, 36 months, that every household in this country connected to the internet would be connected by fiber. Fiber to the home is an ultimate goal. So that once you do that, no more spooling, no more dropping, that we would have, for the first time in this region, every household connected via the broadband internet. In the Western Hemisphere, we will be out there. I'll tell you that I've been very proud, and all of us should be very proud, that in 2016, St. Kitts and Nevis was regarded as the most dynamic country in the world out of 175 countries worldwide. St. Kitts and Nevis copped 2 awards out of 3 at the International Telecommunications Union's Index Ranking Award ceremony in Botswana in Africa. And I had the privilege, the honor to represent the country to receive 2 of the 3 awards being awarded. Only South Korea got another award at that time. We for the investments that had been done in 2015 and 2016, we jumped from being 54th ranked in the world to number 34. Only the United States and Canada in the Western Hemisphere were ahead of St. Kitts and Nevis. We pushed Barbados, who had been the perennial leader, into second place behind us at number 35. And we intend and expect to maintain our dominance in terms of the whole question of broadband networking, ICT development. Now, the cable is a leading proponent of the internet, the broadband. You see the signs all over town where you get more where it matters. And for that, you would notice for the most of this year, they have been advertising that they've doubled bandwidth for the same price, without paying a penny more. You don't even notice it because the cable right now is a reliable internet provider that you can rely on. And the government would want to stand behind that position. The whole concept of the cable is very interesting over the last 3 to 4 years. We have heard from Chairman Othniel Heidegger how it started way back in the early 1980s. And for the most part, we all saw that the founder, one of the founders, pioneer, Bill Ewing, managed the cable over the next 30, 35 years. And we need to pay tribute to Mr. Ewing for last year, after many years of service to St. Kitts, he retired and has severed his relationship with the cable. The government was able to arrange to the SIDF to purchase Mr. Ewan's shares, and we have parted company with him. And as Mr. Ewan left, we determined that we had to have a successor, a transition period where we would make sure that the cable did not just go down into the ashes and disappear, but like a phoenix should rise from those ashes. And while we had been doing work with Seismic Consulting, we also did some work with other consultants in the region. And through the work of Deloitte Touche, we embarked on a worldwide search for a new CEO. 147 people from as far as Australia applied to be the new CEO. We got people from North America and from all over. And after a rigorous process of elimination, none other than Ms. Patricia Walters emerged as the leading person to take the cable forward. Pat is no stranger to St. Kitts Nevis. She grew up in England and is a highly trained professional. She holds many professional accreditations and degrees. And she came to St. Kitts at the start of the millennium and worked with cable and wireless for many years, not just here in St. Kitts, but in the wider region. She knows local conditions. She understands the telecoms business, not only in St. Kitts, but in this region, and has been a stalwart. When we engaged Patricia Walters last September, she set up very clearly defined objectives that she would take, where she would want to take the cable forward. And she has been, to a word, little by little, transforming this company into something that we all can be proud of in terms of improving staff relations, making people want to come to work, feeling good about their jobs, working together, and understanding that they had an objective to work towards. She has been doing exceptionally great service, and those of us who visit the cable building, you see a different type of bounce in the step of the workers and the way in which they respond to queries and so forth. And we want to thank Pat and the staff that she has attracted around her, Bibiana Henry and others, who have been working to transform the way in which we see customer service at the cable. Not only has it been in terms of customer service, but there needs and has needed to be significant upgrades. And one of the areas where we had fallen behind over the years had been in terms of TV content and TV production. For many years, we had a situation where people could not get their boxes fixed. They couldn't get them repaired. You could not get a new box because nowhere in the world did they make the parts for these boxes anymore. That become obsolete. And so Ultra TV, as we are now seeing it, fixing a very critical problem, Pat and her team has come up to make it no longer necessary to have a TV box. Anyone, any new customer, anyone can now have full service TV in your home without having these boxes that were, we used the word earlier, had become dinosaurs. And so we are happy that this Ultra new service does that. But I want to say that not just is it going to be the same as we have had before, or better now, but we expect as the Pat and the team continue to work, that we move from analog TV to digital TV, that we will be getting even better and better service as we move forward. It's going to be good. 75 channels for $60. If you have basic, right now you have what, 15 channels for $37. 75 channels for $37. Wow. This is remarkable, and I don't think you can get a better bargain anywhere in the Caribbean than this. This is transformation at work, and we are proud to be associated with and give support to Pat and her team. It is part of what we in government want to see for the whole business of ICTs in our country. The government this year has commissioned a digital transformation strategy in our country, and we are well on the way to preparing such a report that should be ready any time now. Whether it's going to be in government or the wider society, we should be able to find that citizens of our country get improved service in any field that you're involved in any endeavor that you do. We will work very hard in government to ensure that there's this transformation. Imagine today, if you want to get a passport, what you have to do. You have to go to the post office to get a $3 stamp. Then you have to walk up to Connell Street to the health center to get a birth certificate. When you're finished, you have to go back to the post office for a $10 stamp. You have to walk up to the police station and maybe go up 3 flights of stairs to get a police record. When you're finished with that, you have to walk to government headquarters with $150 stamps to get a passport application. And you're told, come back in a week, 2 weeks. But you could get it in 24 hours for another $100 in stamps. We believe that our citizens should be able to apply online and get a passport same day. And so the idea of transforming ways in which the public service serves citizens, we are embarking on a full service transformation to employ ICTs to transform the way how we live. More and more businesses and some government agencies allow you to pay fees, taxes online. But more and more we expect that we will have secure payment portals for you to transmit and do your business easier, make it more convenient for us in this country to live and to operate. So a digital transformation service will be taking place over the next couple of years in our country, where we expect that our services will be delivered efficiently. Improvements will be happening across the board in terms of our digital transformation service. In terms of some of the other things we do, very quickly, the ICT Center, our National ICT Center, where our Department of Technology is housed, is currently embarked on preparing to introduce an internet exchange point. An internet exchange point. Imagine that you are in a business or in an office where you may have 2 different providers engaged in the internet, and you want to send an email to somebody in the next room. That transmission goes off island to Miami and comes back on island. Why can't we just have an internet exchange point here on the island? It improves speed, it gives more efficiency, and also security. And so over the next few weeks, we will be establishing an internet exchange point where our different service providers, the Central Bank, Ross University, others who have their own special networks, can all be attached to this exchange point that makes the whole process of doing business in St. Kitts and Nevis easier. This is one of the things that we do. We are currently working on improving information security, where our technicians, our different people at the center are being certified in ISO 27000 to be able to be certified in terms of information security. It is critical as we move forward to implement data protection legislation that is required across our country and so forth. That's another thing that we're very proud of. And there are a number of other things that are happening in the ICT field. And of course, as we look forward, we want to make sure that all that we do allows us to be better prepared to attract foreign direct investors in all sorts of fields that can reside here and work here and make our societies better and more protected. Again, I would want to applaud the work done by Pat Walters and her team to introduce this very welcome innovation in terms of content provision for all users of cable TV in St. Kitts. We wish the cable well. We will continue to give support to the cable, and we wish that at the end of the day, you get a lot of new customers and everybody will be happy. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening.